tonight I ask permission from the Terras and the Sangha to speak on the Dhamma, and I give my blessing to the laity. You've all gathered here today to practice together on the occasion that we are celebrating Vesak or Visaka Puja. This is a day, a very important day for the world, and even the United Nations has declared it the day for world peace. It's an important day because we remember and recollect the birth, the enlightenment and parinibbana of the Buddha. So the meaning of Vesak is fundamental to all of us as Buddhists, and it's a day of peace. For anyone who follows the Buddha's teachings, their aim is to raise their level of their minds so that they can reach ultimate peace by transcending all dukkha, suffering. One who does that, who transcends all suffering, they achieve the greatest victory that a person can achieve, and they will experience the highest reward, the purity and the peace of mind that is completely free from all danger or harm. So when we come to practice together like this, we shouldn't waste this opportunity, we shouldn't waste this day, because we come to practice to improve ourselves, develop our panya barami, our wisdom, the spiritual perfection of wisdom, and to train ourselves in the Buddhist path. On this day, the full moon day in May, these three great things happen: the birth, enlightenment, parinibbana of the Buddha. And the Buddha's enlightenment you could compare to a flower, a huge flower that burst into bloom, blossom, fragrant and beautiful. Through that enlightenment, the Buddha became popular throughout the world and indeed throughout all realms of existence. Even animals, even insects were attracted to the Buddha from this enlightenment experience, just like a great big flower. It's important to reflect on this fact today because our lives are short. Time passes by quickly. Our lives as human beings are just like the waning moon. Even though the full moon is beautiful and bright, it quickly starts to disappear. So the Buddha reminded us over and over again to reflect on the impermanence of this life. That was his very final teaching to the monks, his Pajima Awada. That was like his will, and it's our inheritance, these teachings. He said that all beings, they come together, they live together in society, in families, in groups, but in the end we all have to separate from each other. That's the nature of sankhara, conditioned existence. It's anicca, impermanent. Whatever is impermanent is dukkha. It has dukkha, suffering, as its nature, because it's always changing, it's conditioned. And all that is dukkha is anatta. There's no self that can be found in that. The Buddha saw this. That scene was ultimately what we call asankata Dhamma, the unconditioned Dhamma, that is beyond anicca, dukkha, anatta. The Buddha taught us to recollect this constantly. This came from the metta of the Buddha. The quality of the Buddha's kindness was also unconditioned. his pure kindness and compassion didn't choose any particular caste, race, class of people, sex, age of people. The Buddha didn't put anyone down. He didn't miss anyone out. He had perfect compassion for all, and he practiced for the highest benefit. Today we have been following in his footsteps. So we have to put aside all our concerns about tiredness. We have to sacrifice everything for the practice. We have to develop patience and endurance. These qualities will take us through all the difficulties. And so Khanti, or patient endurance, is perhaps one of the most beneficial qualities for a practitioner. We have to be patient with pains and aches, with tiredness. We have to be patient with the weather and all the difficult conditions in this life, with heat, with cold, with everything. All of this needs patience, and that patience is supported by metta, kindness and compassion. These are internal qualities. We have to have patience with unfamiliar conditions that put pressure on us, that normally make us feel weak or want to give up. But one practicing cannot give up. They cannot give in to such feelings. They have to learn how to raise their minds using Khanti, patience, especially when we don't get the things that we wish for. This quality has the greatest value in practice. It gives our lives the greatest benefit. It supports our minds, helps them to become cool and peaceful and content. This kind of happiness is the highest happiness because it's completely free from dukkha. There's no inherent dukkha, no hidden dukkha. It's completely free from all dukkha, all suffering. The Buddha was enlightened by realizing the true nature of existence, the true reality of all things. That enlightened experience wasn't just limited to him. It wasn't, say, a one-off. All humans have the potential to realize the same truths that the Buddha realized. They have that right if they use their sati, mindfulness, and their panya, their wisdom, to train themselves and develop to the point where they can actually change their minds. To do this we need saddha. We have to have confidence and a belief in the effectiveness of this path as a way to change our minds. This belief in the ability of human beings to become enlightened we call Tathagata Bodhisattva. It's the belief or the confidence in the potential of human beings to develop and transcend suffering. In the practice, we actually have to destroy some things, but not for bad reasons or the wrong reasons. We have to destroy some things because we're aiming to completely change ourselves, revolutionize our minds. You can compare it, say, to changing clothes. When we've worn clothes for a while, they become dirty, soiled. We have to change them to improve ourselves, to feel better, get rid of the dirty, soiled clothes. In practice, we have to practice to change ourselves, change our minds, from the mind of an ordinary unenlightened being, a Puja, to the mind of a noble one, an Arya who is seeing the Dhamma. The minds of a Puja and an Arya are completely different. The experiences are different, significantly different. The Buddha didn't say certain people can't practice, certain people won't see the Dhamma, or certain people don't have the right conditions to practice. He said all have equal rights, equal opportunities to practice. All have the chance to reach enlightenment if they keep practicing. He said whoever has faith confidence in the practice and puts energy forth to practice, to change themselves, if there are still people who do that, then the world will not be empty of peaceful, enlightened beings. So we should really consider this when we practice. The practice is for the ending of all desire, all sensual attachment, and for the ending and transcendence of all dukkha, for developing a state of completeness or fullness. This fullness means that there is nothing left in the mind. There's nothing left to do, there's nothing left that the mind wants. The mind has become straight, totally in line with the Dhamma. We have to live in this world, we have to use the things of this world, but we should know how to live in this world with moderation. And this state of fullness or completeness that comes from the practice, this leads to a sense of inner contentment and fewness of wishes. This is because the mind is completely peaceful and satisfied inside itself. So we are aiming to develop this. Today and tomorrow we have a ceremony that is dedicated to making this particular place, this monastery, into an auspicious place where we dedicate ourselves to the ideal, the aim of making this place, developing it in a way that is beneficial for ourselves and for future generations. We are building a place of practice for the benefit of all, in a very pure way that is for the liberation of people's hearts. Most buildings in the world aren't built for that. They're built to further people's attachment, further their delusion, and further worldly ends. But this one is different. It's for developing peace in people's hearts, in their bodies, in their speech. So today we have a blessing ceremony. We've done the auspicious Purita chanting as a symbol to remind us all that this is a place to respect, because this is a place that is dedicated to the practice. Even though in one sense it's just another spot, another part of the world, another place on the surface of the world, but we have to remember it has a deeper meaning. When we remember the deeper meaning of this place, this auspicious place, this will help us to gain a sense of humility and bring up a sense of reverence, respect and care in the mind. These are the qualities that an Arya Pugala always has. They always have a sense of respect for others, for other life forms. They are never aggressive, never rude or arrogant or conceited. One who is practicing for that has to know how to listen, how to learn. We have to know how to listen for the benefit of furthering our practice. We have to know what to listen to that is useful, that is beneficial. We have to know what things we hear that we listen to that are harmful. And we have to know how to contemplate, to investigate truth. We have to investigate this very body that we have and develop insight to see its true nature. When we see its true nature in light of the three characteristics of impermanence, suffering, not self, this leads to a sense of disenchantment. We turn away from our infatuation with this body and the world, and it gives rise to a sense of urgency. We want to practice to make an end of our suffering, end our attachment to this body and world. When we are practicing to develop insight in this way, we are practicing to develop the purest wisdom, not delusion. We're not practicing to compete with other people, to compare ourselves or make ourselves better than other people. if we are really practicing in a pure way to develop insight, the aim is to actually change our own minds. One who develops insight becomes bored with defilements and with worldly states of mind. They want to turn away from them. They become disenchanted with them. So today is an important day for us, a day for peace, and it's a day for furthering our understanding, to make our understanding of truth full and complete. We have to know how to understand all that we come into contact with, know how to contemplate it, know how to explain it to ourselves and others, completely penetrate it. So I give you my anumodana, my appreciation for all the practice you've done, and I give you my blessing. I hope that you are successful in your practice, that you meet with success in all your aspirations. And I ask that all the merits, the goodness of your practice and my practice, the goodness of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and all the auspicious things in this universe, they come together to support you, to bring you freedom, liberation, to bring you freedom from illness, to bring you complete success in your practice. So today I have been discussing the practice with you, and I end by giving you this anumodana, this blessing and appreciation for all your practice.